Dorothy Kilgallen was a big name. She was a reporter, a columnist, a TV star. Think of her as a blend of today's most famous journalists, but with a real bite. She was tough, she was smart, and she wasn't afraid to say what she thought. For years, she had a popular column in the New York Journal-American. She also appeared on a hit TV show called What's My Line. Millions knew her face, her voice. She lived a glamorous life. She went to party. She knew celebrities, but beneath all that, she was a serious journalist. She hunted for facts. She dug deep, and sometimes she dug too deep. That's what many people believe happened to her. She died in 1965, suddenly, mysteriously, and she took secrets to her grave. Secrets about the biggest story of her time. The assassination of President John F. Kennedy. When JFK was shot in Dallas in November 1963, the whole world stopped. It was a shock, a nightmare. The official story came out fast. Lee Harvey Oswald did it, a lone gunman. This case closed. But Dorothy Kilgallen didn't buy it. Not for a second, she was a natural skeptic. She had seen too much in her life to trust everything she was told. And this story felt wrong. It had holes, big ones. So she started her own investigation. She was a powerful voice. Her column reached millions, and she used that power. She pushed for answers. She questioned the official report. She wrote things that no other major journalist dared to write. She said the Warren Commission, the group investigating the assassination, was a joke. She called it a whitewash. She wasn't just hinting, she was saying it straight out. She had a lot to lose. Her reputation, her career, maybe even her life, but she didn't care. She was obsessed. She wanted the truth, and she believed the truth was ugly. Much uglier than what the government was telling everyone. Dorothy went to Dallas herself. She talked to people, she looked at the scene, she got a feeling, a bad feeling. She saw inconsistencies, she saw things that didn't add up, and she had sources. Good sources, she had built a network of contacts over decades, she knew how to get information, and she was getting it. One of her big breaks came when she managed to get an interview with Jack Ruby's lawyer. Jack Ruby was the man who shot Lee Harvey Oswald. Oswald, the supposed lone assassin, was killed before he could say much. Ruby's motives were murky. The official story was that he was a crazed patriot. But Dorothy thought there was more to it. She got to interview Joe Tonahill, Ruby's lawyer. She went to New Orleans, she was digging into the connections. New Orleans was a hot spot for organized crime, and it was a place where Oswald had lived. It was all starting to connect in her mind. She thought there was a much bigger picture, a conspiracy. And then she did something incredible. She claimed she got a secret, private interview with Jack Ruby himself. This was a huge deal. No other journalist had managed that. Ruby was locked up, guarded. How did she do it? She never fully said. But she hinted. She said she had a way. A source. She wrote about it in her column. And she teased her readers. She said she knew things. Things Ruby told her. Things that contradicted the official story. She came back from Dallas and New Orleans with a fire in her belly. She was convinced. And she started writing. Her columns became sharper, more urgent. She wasn't just asking questions anymore. She was making accusations. She said the Warren Commission was hiding things. She said key witnesses were ignored. She said evidence was tampered with. Her friends and colleagues noticed a change in her. She was usually glamorous and fun, but now she was serious, focused, She talked about a big story. The biggest story of her life. She said she was close to breaking it wide open. She had binders full of notes. She had secret sources. She was excited, but also she was scared. She told people she was afraid. She felt watched. She worried about her safety. She even told her hairdresser, a close confidante, that if anything happened to her, it wouldn't be an accident. She said she was going to expose the truth about the JFK assassination, and she said it would be so shocking it would make the nation sick. She was going to name names. She had the documents, she had the proof. People close to her heard her say things like, I'm going to break the true story of the assassination, and I'm going to get the real killers. And this is the big one. She was working nonstop. She was canceling social events. All her energy went into this story. She was on the verge of something monumental. She was going to tell the world what really happened in Dallas. She believed there was a network of people involved. She believed Oswald was just a pawn. She believed organized crime was linked. And she believed powerful forces, maybe even within the government, were covering it up. She was looking at the connections between Dallas, New Orleans, and the underworld figures. She was trying to piece together the real motive, and she thought she had it. Or she was very, very close. She spent weeks, months, putting all the pieces together. She was going to publish a book. A shocking book that would blow the lid off the official story. She had told her editor and her friends about the book. They were excited, nervous. They knew what a bombshell it would be, but that book never came out. Dorothy Kilgallen died on November 8th, 1965. She was found dead in her New York City townhouse. She was only 52 years old. The official cause of death was an overdose of alcohol and barbiturates, a combination of sleeping pills and booze. An accident, or maybe suicide, but right away, things felt wrong. Very wrong. Her death didn't add up, just like the JFK assassination story didn't add up for her. First, the scene where her body was found. She was in a bed in a room she rarely used. Not her own bed. And she was wearing a nightgown she didn't usually wear. Why was she there? Why that nightgown? It was just odd. A detail that bothered people who knew her well. Then there was the pill bottle. It was a prescription for a powerful sleeping pill. But she wasn't known for taking a lot of pills. She was known for being sharp, focused, a go-getter. And there was only one glass next to her, a single glass. If she had taken a lot of pills, wouldn't there be more? Or evidence of a struggle, if she was trying to get help. And what about her famous notes? The binder's full of information about the JFK assassination, the sources, the documents. They were gone, completely gone, vanished. Her close friends, her assistant, they all knew about those files. They knew she kept them with her, guarded them fiercely. But after she died, they were nowhere to be found. It's like they were erased. Her death was investigated by a police detective named John Jordan. He was known for being thorough, but in Dorothy's case, his investigation was surprisingly quick, and he ruled it an accident. No further questions, no deeper look. It felt rushed. Convenient. People started to talk, whispers. Could it be foul play? Could someone have wanted her silenced? She was so close to exposing something big. She had even predicted her own death. The feeling of being watched. The warning to her hairdresser. It all started to look suspicious. Who would want to kill Dorothy Kilgallen? Well, if her theory was right, a lot of very powerful people, the people involved in the JFK assassination, organized crime figures, maybe even people in government who wanted the truth buried. Her investigation was a direct threat to them. She wasn't just a reporter anymore. She was a danger. Some theories suggest she was drugged, that the pills and alcohol were given to her, that she was murdered to stop her from publishing her findings. The way her body was found, the missing notes, the quick investigation, it all fueled these dark theories. It wasn't just a reporter who died. It was a reporter who knew too much. Think about the atmosphere back then. The country was in shock from JFK's death. There was a lot of fear and a lot of suspicion. People didn't trust the government like they used to. And Dorothy Kilgallen was speaking to that distrust. She was giving voice to the idea that something was very wrong. She was not alone in her skepticism about the Warren Commission, but she was perhaps the most prominent, most outspoken mainstream journalist to openly challenge it. And her sudden death, just as she was about to reveal her findings, seemed too convenient to be a coincidence. What exactly did she know? That's the secret she took to her grave. But we can make educated guesses based on her writings and what her friends said. She was very focused on New Orleans. She believed there was a strong connection between Lee Harvey Oswald and figures in the New Orleans underworld. People like David Ferry, a pilot with known ties to organized crime and anti-Castro groups. And Clay Shaw, a businessman later accused of conspiracy in the assassination by New Orleans District Attorney Jim Garrison. Dorothy was looking into these kinds of connections. She was seeing a network, not a lone gunman. She also had a strong belief that Jack Ruby, Oswald's killer, was not acting alone. She thought he was part of the conspiracy, and that he was ordered to silence Oswald. Her supposed secret interview with Ruby was key to this. What did Ruby tell her? Did he confess to being part of a larger plot? Did he name names? Did he confirm he was told to kill Oswald? This information would have been explosive. It would have completely shredded the official story. She also hinted at deeper ties. Ties to the mafia. Ties to intelligence agencies. She saw connections that others missed or were afraid to acknowledge. She believed the assassination was a professional hit, meticulously planned, not the random act of a lone madman. And she thought she had proof of this planning. Her friends remember her talking about specific details, about a second shooter, about different angles of fire, about the ballistics evidence that didn't fit the official narrative. She was looking at everything. She was building a case against the official version of history. And she was brave enough to publish it. That's the key. She wasn't just researching for herself. She was doing it to inform the public, to expose the truth. She truly believed the American people deserved to know what really happened to their president. Her death put an end to that. It silenced her. And it took her crucial information with her. We are left only with clues, her columns, the memories of her friends, the lingering questions about the strange circumstances of her passing. Some have even suggested she might have stumbled onto something even bigger. A theory that sometimes pops up is that she might have found a link between the assassination and a deeper, stranger secret. Like something about UFOs or government cover-ups beyond just the JFK case. It sounds wild, but Dorothy Kilgallen was known for having a wide range of interests and sources. If she was truly digging into all the secrets of power, who knows what else she might have uncovered. This is less talked about, but it shows how far her investigations were thought to go. The legacy of Dorothy Kilgallen is a troubling one. It's a reminder that sometimes the truth can be dangerous. It's a story that makes you wonder about the cost of digging too deep. She was a trailblazer, a fearless journalist, and she paid a heavy price. Her death also served as a warning. After her, many journalists became more cautious about openly challenging the official JFK narrative. It was a chilling message. Don't go there. Don't ask those questions, or you might end up like Dorothy. Her case remains unsolved in the minds of many. The official explanation of an accidental overdose simply doesn't satisfy. Too many loose ends, too many convenient coincidences. The missing files are a giant red flag. If she was just a reporter who accidentally overdosed, why would her life's work vanish? Why would the proof of her claims disappear? It points to a deliberate act. An act to erase her findings. An act to ensure the secrets she uncovered stayed hidden. And they have, for decades. So, what secrets did Dorothy Kilgallen take to her grave? She likely took the names of the real conspirators behind the JFK assassination. She took the details of how they planned it. She took the proof of their involvement. She took the story of how Jack Ruby was instructed to silence Oswald. She took the full extent of the organized crime connection. And she took the evidence of the government cover-up. She held the complete, unvarnished truth about one of the most significant events in modern history. And that truth died with her. Her story is a tragic chapter in American journalism. A brilliant reporter on the verge of breaking the biggest story ever, suddenly silenced. Her work unfinished. Her revelations never shared. And the mystery of her own death forever intertwined with the mystery she fought so hard to solve. She stands as a symbol of the reporter who dared to ask the forbidden questions, and who, perhaps, found the answers she was looking for, only to pay the ultimate price. The secrets she took to her grave continue to haunt us, a testament to a truth still waiting to be told.